7 o'clock. Thank you for choosing News at Prime on Newzroom Afrika, channel 405. I'm Tembekile Mkhototo. Welcome to election time here on Prime as we count down to the 1st of November, the local government elections taking place. And tonight we feature the Matjhabeng Local Municipality. It is in the Free State. It's been plagued by service delivery crises over the years, and it's the second biggest municipality in the Free State. Now, the landscape there is more competitive in Matjhabeng, with the ANC and the DA quite close in the Orendal's Rest town. That was from by-elections held earlier this year. To unpack the issues then in Matjhabeng, we're joined by the ANC's Executive Mayor, Nkosinjane Speelman, who's joining us by phone, I believe. Matjhabeng DA Councillor Styger, as well as Thomas Macingwane. He's the EFF's regional chair in the area. Gentlemen, before we begin, some ground rules. We'll begin with 2 minutes each for all of you, where you state why you think your party is the ideal or best leadership, in fact, for the people of Matjhabeng come election day on November 1st. Are we all clear on the rules?
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes, we are.
ANC Mayor Nkosinjane Speelman, the incumbent. Let's begin with you then. Your 2 minutes starts now.
No, thank you very much. Let me apologize, ma'am. I'm on my road. I'm coming from to do door to door, but I'm coming. I'll lock in when I arrive in Valcom. But let me tell you, in Matjhabeng, we have delivered. We have managed to give people houses. We have managed to give people bursaries. We have managed to build roads, resealing and paving. We have managed to give people electricity center, Hennemane site. We have managed to give all church leaders or church in our area site. We have managed to give people, the communities, the food during the difficult times when the people are suffering, the farmers. We manage the municipalities to do a lot of things, like installing water in Ward 22. Yes, there are challenges in the municipality. I know the two gentlemen that are with you there, that were Comrade Macingwane, I don't know, the one of the DA, they're going to talk about the sewer and the debt of ESCOM and the CTB, which are dealing with those issues. Is the matter has been there quite some time. But as I'm speaking with you, as a municipality, we have delivered to the services, the people of Matjhabeng. Roads have been cut, roads have been resealed, we have built new houses for our own community. That's why I send you some pictures. I wish you should have shown the people on your screen or wherever, so that people must know what I'm talking about. But there are challenges in the municipalities. I don't dispute it, that thing, because of the people who are unemployed, people who are not working, and then we are affected by the COVID-19. But the municipalities have delivered in terms of the service delivery in all 36 wards. There are challenges where people, they are not being served, they are potholes somewhere, somehow, but we are fixing those issues because the pay rate of the municipalities is not what we were expected. But the municipalities is doing quite well in terms of...
Nkosinjane Speelman, your 2 minutes is up. We'll bring you in for the broader debate in a moment. Let's go now to the DA Councillor Styger. Andre, your 2 minutes begins now.
Tembekile, thank you for the opportunity. The mayor is mentioning a lot of examples, but none of it can be ascribed to what council did, being Matjhabeng's council. I mean, the roads were not retarred by council. It was retarred by the mines as part of the corporate social investment. The houses being built, everything else was done with other monies, not with municipal monies. As a matter of fact, currently, we sometimes, depending on our pay rate, touch a 66% salary ratio to our income. I mean, so we are very close of only existing to pay salaries of councillors and that of our employees. And so for talking about investment and delivering, that is non-existent. Quite rightly, what he has mentioned, the ESCOM and the Sedibeng water problems are imminent. I mean, we've been without water for 10 days during the last 14 days, and there's no end in sight. I mean, the water taps were only turned open 3 or 4 days ago, and the 16 million of the 5.5 billion that we owe them is a mere drop in the bucket, and will only buy us time until next Wednesday, which is conveniently just after the elections. Then we're sitting with the same problem again, without water, without electricity, and there's no comprehensive plan to address these matters. I mean, there's no plan on the table. There's marathon meetings once it's been cut, the services, but there's no marathon meetings planning to resolve these matters. and to address them by hand. And this has been the case. I mean, anybody can go and Google Matjhabeng Municipality and go to Wikipedia and see what we were renowned for. In 2011, 2 billion stolen under ANC leadership. And that's not the message we want to send. There's enough money in the goldfields. There's enough going around. The goldfields are still strong. There's still mines. There's still industry. It just needs to be administered and properly, and we need proper leadership for that. And I can't believe that the powers that be is asking the voters to vote them back for another round, seeing what we have experienced the last couple of days, and as a matter of fact, for almost the last 3 decades.
Andre Styger, 2 minutes is up. Thank you. Let's go to you, Thomas Macingwane. Your 2 minutes starts now.
No, thank you very much. I think one has to laugh about the things that the executive mayor has said, because, like, to tell the honest truth is that in the past 5 years, all of the things that he has mentioned, if one was to tell the honest truth, is that perhaps correctly one would say maybe 1% of what he has said has happened, maybe. But however, the reality is that the people of Matjhabeng are still swimming in sewer. The people of Matjhabeng are still without water. The people of Matjhabeng are still accountable for a Citibank account that they cannot even really tell as to say whether will it one day end or what's going to happen. However, and the people of Matjhabeng are still traveling in the roads with potholes. The people of Matjhabeng are still unemployed. The people of Matjhabeng are still without land. The people of Matjhabeng are still confronted with a municipality that is confronted with a lack of political leadership, a municipality that has no accountability, a municipality whereby everything just happened and there's no reason provided for whatever the case may be. So if one was to say, the least is that the mayor perhaps speaks to an ideal idea of what a proper municipality should be, but that is not what the municipality of Matjhabeng is currently at the current moment, because none of what the people of Matjhabeng has experienced of what he has said.
All right, thank you very much for that, gentlemen. With 10 seconds to spare, let's get into then our main discussion, and I want to go back to the ANC Executive Mayor in Matjhabeng, Nkosinjane Speelman, who's joining us by phone. Mr. Speelman, you say you are running a good show in Matjhabeng. You say there are a few challenges, but it doesn't sound like challenges when you've got municipal debt in the billions of rands. Andre was saying just recently there were 10 days where people did not have regular water supply. That sounds like enough reason for people not to vote for the ANC come Monday.
No, thank you very much, Sam. No, listen, it does not mean that by 1 or 2 or one week people without water, that means or justify that there was no service delivered in Matjhabeng. No, that is wrong. I acknowledge that there was a challenge of the water in Matjhabeng, of which we have dealt with that matter. But I think Councillor Macingwane is right when he speaks here and able to say that it's an ideal situation whereby I'm saying to you, we have delivered, we have bought cars that dealing with the refuse removal in the municipality. We managed to put cameras in the stateway. We have managed. Styger, I hear that we are talking to. Styger is part of the committee which I've appointed to deal with the issue of the debt in Matjhabeng. Is one of the people, Styger, who failed to deal with the issue of issues that were delegated to him, particularly the bylaws. But I must say to you, as a municipalities, we have managed to deliver. I wish, I'm on a road because I'm from doing door to door. I wish we could have all the pictures that I've sent it to you this afternoon. You can put it on the screen. So
we've got the pictures, sir, and we'll bring them up. I appreciate the point that you're making. You're saying you are doing other things. You're cleaning up the town. But on the water issue, which is what I want to go back to, again, 10 days without water for people who are paying rates, and even for people who aren't paying for their rates. Water is a basic right in democratic South Africa. Allow me to finish, sir. It's not the first time that this has happened. It's not an isolated incident. Late last year, you had tens of thousands of people, again, burdened with a lack of water, who then had to make alternative arrangements to get water, even though they were paying for the service.
No, listen, ma'am, let me tell you. People, the pay rate of the municipality is not what we expected. Let me give a practical example now. We bill in July, the new financial year, 90 million, we get only 10 million. In August, we build 120, we get only 7 million. That is a challenge which we are unable to continuously to face it today. I reported the matter to the council that we are facing the following challenges. That's why at some stage I put on my initiative to cut the electricity, close it. Despite the opposition, they go and say what I was doing was wrong. But what I'm trying to say, we are facing a challenge. I accept that people of Matjhabeng are not working. People of Matjhabeng, some of them, they're supposed to pay. They are not paying. There are people who are paying, but not what according to what we're expecting from them to pay. Like we put it in a budget, 80% pay rate, but we're able to collect between 60 and 70%.
Okay.
Those are the challenges that are facing us.
Andre Styger, let me come to you.
In time.
Andre Styger, the mayor says you were part of a committee put together to try and help with the better running of Matjhabeng, and you failed. Why did you fail?
The mayor asked me to relook at the bylaws, and given my professional background, I did so. We rewrote for him 10 bylaws to make the city work. That will generate an income. It was returned to him, and up to today it was not promulgated. And asked him why, all his officials why. So the work was done. The promulgation of the bylaws to recover the money or to get some monies in was just not promulgated. So the work is done. It's back in his court and that of his officials. It's just ironic that he should ask an opposition to rewrite the bylaws, which I gladly did for him. But the matter at hand is, as far as the payment is concerned, if you look at, I'm looking at the Auditor General report stating that Matjhabeng is insolvent, black and white. The previous audited financial statements, we were declared insolvent, and I'm quoting, significant doubt exists on the municipality's ability to continue as a going concern. Now, there's no planning. There's no structure. The mayor has been in charge for the last term, and all of this is happening under his term. Now we're going back and saying, listen, please vote for me again. It will be better the second time around. I'm sorry. It just doesn't fly. The history of the way Matjhabeng has been run over the last 20 years speaks for itself. People can just smell outside, look outside, and see what's going on. And nothing has been changing thus far. It's time for that.
Thomas Macingwane from the EFF. So you're sitting here, you're vying to run a municipality that is billions of rand in the red as far as water and electricity debt. Andre is saying it's insolvent. How would you, as the EFF, even begin to clean up a mess of this proportion?
No, thank you very much. I think if maybe we should maybe start from the beginning, like from what the executive mayor said. Look, we are talking here about the ANC that has passed unfunded budget for the past three years. And I think that one of the key elements or key things that as a municipality we should have engaged in was to ensure that we make a proper assessment as to say whether the municipality that we're in, our people, are they able to live up to the expectation of the municipality to collect more than 65% of the billing rate that we've put forth. And the reality is that we're unable to collect more than 65%. But the unfortunate part is that we have had a municipality for the past 5 years which has been living under a wrong pretext of passing a budget that seeks to present a picture that says to the community of Matjhabeng, our expenditure can actually be equated to our collection rate, which was not the case. And in most cases, that is why we have realized it through our inability to pay our creditors, and secondly, the collapsing infrastructure in the municipality. And as the EFF was simply saying that for you to be able to run an effective municipality, you need to be able to be presenting a budget that is realistic, a budget that is credible, and that is what the ANC failed to present for the past 5 years.
Thomas, let's park it there. We're going to continue in a moment with election time on Prime. Our focus tonight on the Matjhabeng Local Municipality in the Free State. We've got the ANC, the incumbents, the DA and the EFF in a moment. Make your final comments, okay? Mr. Speelman, are you still on the road? I feel like I'm sitting in the dark. Is this... Welcome back to the second part of Election Time on Prime, a focus on the Matjhabeng Local Municipality in the Free State. We're joined tonight by the ANC Executive Mayor, Nkosinjane Speelman, who I'm told we've lost because we had him on the phone and he did say that he was on the road driving from a door-to-door campaign. So as soon as we're able to get him back on the line, we'll bring him back. Still with us is DA Councillor Styger and the EFF's Regional Chair in Matjhabeng, Thomas Macingwane. Gentlemen, let's continue with our conversation, and I want to pick up on recent events, Andre, if I can begin with you, where we're seeing reports of municipal buildings and other infrastructure being stripped bare by thieves, and it doesn't seem as though the security services, police, have a handle on the situation. What is your understanding of that?
Yeah, that is spot on. We, as a mining community, are suffering under what we call zamas, which is illegal miners, which damages the infrastructure, to get access to water and so forth. But although they might be an easy scapegoat, the problem is a bit more complex than that. Once again, in the Auditor General's report, it's pointed out that our water loss is on 76%, and a major part of that is because of theft. Now, you would say if you lose 76% of your water once you've procured it and before you send it to your customers, that's a major crisis. I mean, that's a major plug, a leak that needs to be plugged. Ask our mayor, what's our strategy? Zero, nothing on the table. We're bleeding to death. Water that people don't have are actually not there, and because of theft. One of the same with the Eskom. Unfortunately, I don't have the figures here quite on my finger now, but we've got to talk about the same kind of parameters of theft on that. Now, the South African Police Services only take us that far. The problem we have is there's a kind of an animosity between our municipality and our community policing forums. Unlike with other DA-run municipalities where the community policing forums are involved, where policing is divulged down to street level, to ward level, we don't have that in Matjhabeng. It's everybody to fend off for himself, paying major money to outside security companies, whilst there's actually quite a simple solution as to involve the community themselves. And we're not embracing that. And it's not been dealt with. So there's no strategy, once again, no plan, but once again, we're being asked to vote for the incumbents.
Thomas Macingwane, do you get the sense that a solution is on the horizon to the crime situation that's got worse since the pandemic?
Look, I think that it would be very wrong to blame COVID for any of the things that are happening now, because if you go back to the records of Matjhabeng, you would realize that in 2017, Matjhabeng advertised, I think, about 105 posts of security, and to this day, none of those have been realized. None of the posts have been filled. And when you go around the municipality, you would realize that out of the 11 waste treatment plants and pump stations, only 3 is functional and 8 is dysfunctional. And this goes to show that the ANC has never been committed to ensuring that, one, the municipal property is guarded, is safeguarded, and to blame poverty or crime against that, it's actually very, very premature. But what we believe is that actually we need a municipality that is committed in ensuring that, one, it eradicates unemployment, so that we make sure that the people who, because in most cases they say that the Zamazamas are the ones who have vandalized the municipal infrastructure and all of that. And we have brought a proposal forward that to say legalize the small scale mining, so that you speak to these people who are so-called Zamazamas and make sure that they don't steal water, because as Andre has correctly said, that about 73 to 75% of our water is lost to either aging infrastructure or theft. And if we had a municipality that was committed in ensuring that it engages the community around to ensure that we have a partnership between the community and the municipality, such that we don't have people that will be stealing water from the municipality. But we have an arrogant government that says, despite the challenges that we can see that the Auditor General has even pointed out, however, in the past 5 years, there's nothing that has been done. We have been told that the Minister of Water Affairs has been engaged, but nothing has been done.
I want to try and bring in Nkosinjane Speelman, the Executive Mayor of the ANC in Matjhabeng, who's still with us on the phone. And Mr. Speelman, I'm not sure how much of the last few minutes you've been able to hear, but one of the issues raised by Mr. Macingwane is that, for example, he says you advertise posts for dozens of security guards, yet those posts have not been filled. While all of that is supposed to be happening, you've got government and municipal buildings being stripped bare by thieves who are taking metal. Why have you not filled those positions?
No, thank you very much. If I hear you, I think there was a question before I break down that which was raised by Styger or Macingwane, who was saying, it's talking about the AG's report. I think they must tell you the truth. In the last 5 years, we're able to get unqualified and then you get qualified report. So it's a clear indication from the AG that the municipality was doing quite fairly well. We get the 16, 17 unqualified, 17, 18 qualified, till now as I'm speaking, get qualified the report. To come into the issue raised now by Macingwane on the issue of, that is true. And then they're talking, those two gentlemen, about the report which I tabled to the council, say, here are the challenges. One of the challenges I reported to the council was that we advertised the post, but because of our revenue collection, we are unable to fulfill those posts, because you fulfill those posts, after that, those people won't get a salary. So on the basis of that, I reported we are going to uphold those posts till we are on a financial viable. So we are unable to. So those are the issues that I tabled and reported to the council.
Let me ask
which is required by the FMM that the mayor must report to the council. I reported those issues. They are reporting or telling the people something that I reported. I was thinking they're going to tell something new to the nation, what actually is happening. But both of them, they were working in the committee which I have established, Macingwane and Styger and others, and saying, if you are saying there are this input, let's work together and develop a committee. Some of them, Styger was also assisting. Macingwane was also assisting, but were unable to attend our meetings.
Mr. Speelman, let me ask you this then. For every issue, you've given another reason but taken no responsibility for it. What do you think you are responsible for as the people responsible for running Matjhabeng? What responsibility do you take for the breakdown in services?
Although I can't hear you properly, but I hear what my responsibility.
What responsibility do you take for the breakdown of Matjhabeng Local Government Municipality?
I can't understand your question. Breakdown in which sense?
You've got, as you say, sewage on the streets, government buildings being stripped bare by thieves. You've got intermittent water supply, a massive debt where electricity is concerned. By all intents and purposes, it sounds like you're running a failed municipality. So what responsibility do you take?
No, ma'am. I don't know which barometer are you using to say why is ever, because what determines the fail and the success of the municipality, one of it is a report of Auditor General. So if the Auditor General gave us in the whole 5 years unqualified and qualified report, you can't able to come up and say that we are failing. But let me try to give you a proper analysis. There is what is called service delivery in the municipality and a service services that you must do as a municipality in terms of the maintenance. One of the challenges in the municipality was the maintenance side of the municipality, which are talking about the sewer. Even on that one, like Styger was saying, we fixed the sewer, the problem, the issue of vandalism, which wrote letters to the office of the president, wrote letters to the office of the Minister of Defense, before she leaves that position. So we have done our best to make sure that we run the municipality proper in terms of needing assistance. In terms of security, remember the municipality is not dealing with the issue of policing. The people that were having the municipality, that are destroying the property of the municipality, is so-called Zamazama, which is a serious problem in the municipality.
If I'm hearing you correctly, you take no responsibility for what's gone wrong, correct?
Sorry, ma'am?
You take no responsibility for anything that's gone wrong?
No, I take responsibility.
For?
That's why I took an oath when I come in as a mayor.
What do you take responsibility for?
Ma'am, for the mere fact that I reported to the office of the president that here is a challenge of, Macingwane was talking about the unemployment rate in Matjhabeng, the issue of Zamazama who are stealing our iron, are stealing our cable. That is a clear responsibility of the mayor to take a responsibility.
Okay.
I'm the one when the people, let me give a line. When the people are arriving late in the municipality, Macingwane can testify, Mr. Styger. I closed the offices of the municipality. I put every board. I showed even to the unions, look how people are arriving late in the municipality. If you count the hours people are arriving late in the municipality for the year, it shows that you have no responsibility. Mr. Macingwane knows what I'm talking about. Mr. Styger knows what I'm talking about. Even the nation knows what I'm talking about. It's not only that one. People that have done a corruption in the municipalities were put aside. The case was open against them. It's the same municipality. Those two gentlemen, they know what I'm talking about.
All right. By the way, just a point of correction. I suspect my voice may be deceiving, but I am not a woman. While we're there, let's move on. I'm going to thank you, Mr. Speelman. I'll come back to you in a moment. I want to give you each a minute each, gentlemen, just to give your final thoughts now that we've cleared the air on my gender. And I'll start with you, Thomas. Your minute starts now.
No, thank you very much. I think that perhaps first thing is first, the mayor must differentiate between the Auditor General's report, which has maybe given them whatever report that he is speaking about, because that only speaks to the documentation that has been submitted. But the sad reality is that Matjhabeng municipality has not been able to meet the people's expectation, and one that includes ensuring that there's proper water distribution, there's proper electricity distribution to our people, there is correct development of infrastructure, ensuring that our people get services to their expectation. As I'm speaking to you now, the area where I'm staying, we've been staying about 3 weeks without removal of garbage. So it can never be correct that the ANC executive mayor says that municipality of Matjhabeng is running smoothly. That is not true.
Thomas, your minute is up. Andre, your minute starts now.
Thank you, Tim Mekile. I think what we need to recognize, the more accurate the Auditor General reports become, the more condemning they are, because that means that the report to say that we are no longer a going concern, we're insolvent and there's no consequence management is there now spot on, where in the past it could have been questioned because of this obvious reasons. The bottom line is, revenue collection has not been addressed, and when we oppose the budget to say it's illogical to have an 85% collection rate budgeted on, we were outvoted. I think when it comes to Matjhabeng, the writing is on the wall. It is as simple as that. We need a change. The DA has been known for turnaround strategy. We've turned around Midvaal, we've turned around Mossel Bay, the one example after the other. The moment people gives us a chance, we can turn around. There's still a lot going for the goldfields. There's still a lot going around, the people, the resources, the economy. We just need the right leadership in it. And therefore, my appeal to the voters is not to go back and repeat.
Andre, your minute is up. Let's give the final word then to Executive Mayor of Matjhabeng, Nkosinjane Speelman. You've heard what the other parties have to say about your administration, sir. Your minute starts now.
Thank you very much. Ma'am, not long ago, we have opened up a new community hall where Mr. Macingwane is staying. He must be able to tell you. Mr. Styger, where he was part of the meeting, he knows very well what we have done together. I have reported to you that, yes, there are challenges in the municipalities office, but we were the one, the municipality, to fire the municipal manager after we've discovered that wrong things are happening in the municipality. We fired that municipal manager. Even the second one, municipal manager, we were about to fire him. Unfortunately, he passed away. So I'm trying to say, well, we're taking a responsibility as a municipality. But I want to say, we've delivered as a municipality in Matjhabeng. Let the people have a trust with the ANC and vote for the ANC. A lot of things have been done. Even next time and the new term, the people are going to get it better. We have bring water in various areas, electricity in Henneman. We bring it electricity in Ottendalsrest. We bring it new roads in Virginia.
Time is up, Mr. Speelman. Thank you very much for that. The Executive Mayor of Matjhabeng speaking on behalf of the ANC tonight. My thanks to you all, gentlemen. DA Councillor Andre Styger, as well as the EFF's Regional Chair in Matjhabeng, Thomas Macingwane. Grateful for your time tonight.